when the History Boys opens at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre on the 7th of February. Two of the cast who are more senior in years will be having a great time with their parts. I can say that even though they're still quite young themselves, because we're based around the kids at school. We have Mrs. Lintott, aka Victoria. Hello to you.
Hello, nice to meet you.
And we have a supply teacher, Irwin, played by Lee. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
All good here.
Good.
So let's explore a little bit about your characters to begin with, because in your time at the school, you've been around for a little while, and you know the ropes of the place.
I do. I'm on the verge of retiring, I think.
Mm-hmm. And you're nowhere near old enough to do that. Not even in the 80s when the retirement age was lower.
Anyway, she's a traditional teacher. Mm-hmm. You know, the facts, the truth matters to my character. Uh-huh. And she's not starry-eyed about going to Oxford or Cambridge, or for her, education is education. Yeah. And it doesn't matter whether you go to an ivy-clad college or, you know, as long as you're learning the stuff properly. Mm-hmm. So part of the play looks at different teaching styles. Mm-hmm.
Because we're at a time, though, when it was still O-levels and CSEs, and the less able kids would have been doing city and guilds. So it's a very different educational world than the one that the actual actors who are playing this will have been through themselves.
Well, certainly when I was at school, you did GCSEs or CSEs if you weren't up to the GCSEs.
Well, but they were O-levels back in the early 80s. It was late 80s by the time they turned into the GCSEs. And suddenly the whole grading system changed and was turned upside down. So we're before what most kids these days will know anything about. Yeah.
And I was reading something that Alan Bennett said, and even when he wrote the play, it was slightly out of date.
Yeah, well, he did. It was in the early 2000s, wasn't it? This first went to stage.
Yes. And people said to him, "No, but they don't do that at Oxford and Cambridge anymore. It's not like when you were there." And actually, he thought, "Well, I don't care. Mm-hmm. That's not the point. Yeah. The point is the relationship between the people and the play."
Yeah, and in your teaching role, obviously, you get young upstarts turn up into the teaching world, and in Irwin's case, he's arrived as a supply teacher.
Yeah, but he's there to kind of just navigate these boys through the next stage of their kind of education, which ideally for the head teacher, he wants as many boys from the school as possible to get into Oxford and Cambridge. Mm-hmm. And Irwin is there to take the knowledge that they've learned, twist it in such a way so he can get the boys to wangle their way into Oxford and Cambridge and kind of cheat the system in a little sort of way. So.
Yeah, so there's entry exams as well as grades which count for things at this time. We don't have a point scoring system on the A levels the boys will be taking. No. It is purely the simple grades. So from an education point of view, it is that energy that's got to be put into them to get them to do what they need to do to get there. But as teachers, you get to see a whole cross-section of what's going on with their social world as well. And this is going to be interesting to act. Because, again, we've only ever been on the receiving end mostly of teachers keeping an eye on us and telling us what to do and not to do. And then you've got to put yourself into that mindset and sort of take over the controlling influence on these lives in many ways. And you playing the younger character on this, you'll be obviously much closer to their ages, and that must be an interesting one for your role in a temptation to interact with them in a more laddish way, I suppose.
It is, and because he is, this is one of his kind of first interactions with kind of any kind of student body as a teacher, so he's finding his way. Who is he as a teacher, as a young adult, and the boys don't make it easy for Irwin, and that's what's quite interesting. So he's trying to navigate how to respond to them and teach them in the way that he needs to. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you get to rule with a rod of iron. Are you looking forward to that?
No, definitely. But I don't rule with a rod of iron. I think I'm quite fair. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think I've got so much experience that I can help this one as well. Yeah. Because I say, there are temptations as a teacher that you want to let them know you're human, but no, that's not your role. It's sort of like parents who want to be friends with their kids. Yeah. No, that's not their role. They are parents.
Mm-hmm. You have to take that lead.
You have to take that responsibility.
Mm-hmm. So it is a home theatre production for you guys, and we know that the team at the Grand can do an absolutely brilliant job of putting on a show, and this must be quite exciting for you both to be involved in this too. So you've obviously all worked in the theatre before, and you've worked in a theatre which is producing it. But when you're so close to the audience and knowing what the theatre's looking for, it must be an exciting project to work on.
Definitely, and the theatre is so beautiful, and the acoustics are good. I walked in and thought, oh gosh, this is rather big, but the acoustic it is great. It's going to still feel quite intimate, I hope.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, and everybody's been so nice.
They are a lovely team,
Yeah.
and I mean, looking forward to it as well.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I'm a Midlands boy, so just to be able to be in a kind of a local theatre that's producing really top quality work, and that's, you know, the team at the theatre, not just with this, but over the next few years, they're really wanting to make the Grand a place for fantastic locally produced theatre. And it's just, I feel so proud to be part of that, really.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic, and so we've seen what they can do already, and we know it's going to be yet another brilliant production this time round. And you say, is it Cradley Heath?
I lived in Cradley Heath.
Yeah,
and I'm from Nottingham originally, so it's just brilliant just to be working in the middle, because so much of what you do as an actor is London-based or Manchester, and so it's so lovely to have something great like this in Wolverhampton.
Well, we look very much looking forward to the production. It is Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre from the 7th through to the 22nd of February. 01902 429212 is the box office number. grandtheatre.co.uk to get your tickets. Come along and see the team in History Boys and various teachers making sure the kids do exactly as they're told, I'm absolutely sure. Have a great time, break a leg, and we look forward to seeing the show.
Thank you very much.